appreciate the panel being here, Mr. Menzies and Ms. Hoffman, and your attention to these concerns that back when the Department of Energy was organized as a cabinet agency, back when I was in graduate school in 1977, the largest energy security concern was fuel supply disruptions, not electricity disruptions or cybersecurity, as we're talking about now. As you would expect, the Department's Organization Act reflected those concerns. Times have changed, and we should be thinking differently now about energy security and emergency preparedness. I'm glad we're doing that here today. Mr. Menzies, the Secretary's efforts to elevate the agency's leadership on emergency and cybersecurity functions are commendable, but I'd like to see DOE leadership continue under future administrations. It can't be catch as catch can. We need that continuity. Do you think it would help to codify DOE's Assistant Secretary functions in the DOE Organization Act?
Well, thank you for that question, Congressman. And let me take a minute to express our appreciation for working with the committee and its efforts to review our DOE structure and its authorizing statutes. Your staff and members, other members have been working in a very collaborative way to try to identify ways to, as we seek to realign and modernize the department, that you seek to modernize the enabling statutes. So we support the effort. We appreciate the collaboration and exchange of information, and we continue to look forward with you as you move legislation through the process.
Well, in HR 5174, we specify functions to include emergency planning, coordination, and response. Can you talk about your work to elevate these functions in the new office?
Right. Well, and the Secretary announced the setting up of CSER. That is a clear demonstration of his commitment and his organizational vision for the department, to highlight it, to increase the visibility, to coordinate efforts, and to be a source of additional guidance from Congress, the White House, and other agencies. So he's committed to that, and he's showing it in a very real and measurable way. So that's what we are proposing, and that's what we're doing. And then we look forward to working with you, the appropriators, others, to ensure that it has the adequate resources it needs to accomplish the goals that we hope it accomplishes.
Ms. Hoffman.
I would just like to add to what the Undersecretary said, that any sort of event that occurs, the effective response really is built off of information sharing and coordination. So in the preparedness, when we're conducting exercises, when we're sharing classified threat briefings, when we're coordinating with the intelligence community, it's all critical components of how we support preparedness, and so that we are actively coordinating ahead of any event that may occur, and that will allow the federal government and industry to be very efficient in making sure that we understand the root causes, but also the opportunities for mitigations and restoration.
Good. So clearly you'll work with us to identify any gaps of authority or ambiguities, maybe I should have left that word out, in the system so we can make sure it continues to work.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask one more question. Mr. Menzies, do you believe that elevating cybersecurity functions to a Senate-confirmed Assistant Secretary level will help intergovernmental and interagency communication as well as multi-directional information sharing with DOE's ability to appropriately and quickly address cyber-related emergencies?
I do. The key part about being a Senate-confirmed appointee is the accountability that you have to maintain with the two branches of government. You're in the executive branch. You're confirmed by the Senate, and so it forces you to work with Congress and to fully explain yourself to the executive branch. Secondly, it increases the visibility and the accountability. So, as of today, we come up here regularly to testify. And so it's a way that we can ensure that we're doing what we said we were going to do, and we're doing what you you think that we told you that we were going to do, and you can give us instructions as to, how we can better do what we need.